Hi guys, my name's Vince and welcome to my channel Vince Cooper Games. Today we're going to be looking at the supply phase of my game Bloody Lane. The supply line, which is used in the supply phase, is down here. This represents Piper's Lane, Piper's Orchard, and Piper's Cornfield. Henry Piper was the landowner, and all of this land where the Battle for Bloody Lane took place was owned by Henry Piper. Historically, the supply line actually ran from south to north. So you had Piper Lane down here, Piper's Orchard, Piper's Cornfield, and then the supplies were resolved thereafter. But because of space reasons, we're running from west to east. So the supply tokens move from box S1 to S2 to S3, and then each supply token is resolved. The supply tokens look like this. There are three types: reinforcements, ammunition, and orders. Reinforcements are limited. There are only 3 tokens per game. Ammunition is also limited. There are only 5 tokens per game. Orders are unlimited, so you can send as many orders along the supply line as you would like to. You can see down here that there are some numbers. I'll explain these in more detail in the Union artillery phase, but just very briefly, when a token is in box S1, if it's targeted by Union artillery, the target number is going to be 2 to 3. If the token is in S2, you're going to use the center figure of 2 to 4. That would become the target number for the Union artillery. And if the token is in box S3, you're going to use the rightmost number, which is 2 to 5. But I'll cover that in more detail later. So let's just go through it. So let's imagine it's turn 1, and you're going to put an orders token into box S1. You resolve all the other phases in turn 1, and you move on to turn 2. In the supply phase, each token moves 1 step to the right, so the orders move from S1 to S2, and you now need to place another token into box S1. So we're going to put an ammunition token there. Then you resolve the other phases in turn 2. Turn 3, again, the rightmost token moves to the right, the next token moves to the right, and you put another token into box S1. So we're going to put a reinforcements token there. That's the end of turn 3. Turn 4, the rightmost token now has to be resolved. So let's just go through an orders token. So the orders token, when it's resolved, is placed in this box. It's not used while we resolve a few other phases. It is resolved during the Confederate action phase. And again, I'll cover this in more detail, but just quickly, when you're resolving the Confederate action phase, you roll 4 d6 dice. The orders token allows you to re-roll one of those dice. So the 2 is useful, the 6 is useful, the 5 is useful. A 1 prevents you from assigning an action. So we're going to discard the orders token and re-roll the dice. Oh, we got another 1, so it didn't actually make any difference. So we would then assign actions using these results, but cover that in more detail in another video. So so that's the orders token. So that's turn 4. Turn 5, they move to the right, sorry, this is still turn 4. They're going to move to the right. Then we're going to put another orders token in there. Okay, turn 5, the ammunition token is resolved. So the ammunition token gives you 3 points of mini-air ball value points, which you can assign to any of the Confederate forces. So, for example, you could assign 3 points to the 30th North Carolina. That would take their mini-air ball value from 1 up to 4. Okay, you could assign 1 point here. That would bring the value up to 2. And 2 points here. That would bring the value up to 4. Okay, and so on. You can assign the 3 points, all 3 points to a single Confederate regiment, or you can split them between different Confederate regiments. But that's an ammunition token. Remember, ammunition token is very limited. That's going to become a key consideration as the game continues. Okay, then turn 5, everything moves to the right again, and we would put another token in box S1. Okay, the following turn, reinforcements. Reinforcements give you 3 reinforcement value points, which can be used to boost the cohesion of a Confederate force up to its maximum value, which is 5. Now, this 30th North Carolina here is in serious trouble because it's shattered. If a Union counter advances into a defensive position occupied by a shattered Confederate force, the game immediately ends in defeat. So we want to get this 30th North Carolina to at least 1 cohesion point. So again, we can split the 3 points any way we want. We could assign all 3 points to the 30th North Carolina, which would take it from 0 cohesion up to 3. We could, for example, assign 2 cohesion points, so it's no longer shattered. And then, for example, another cohesion point over here to the 14th North Carolina, which will increase its cohesion from 3 to 4. And that's it. And again, remember the reinforcement tokens, very, very limited. There's only 3 of those per game. And as the game continues, controlling and protecting your assets will become instrumental in achieving victory. So that's it. That's the supply phase. Thanks a lot for watching.